All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are talking about something super important. How to stay strong, mobile, and just full of energy once you hit your 40s and beyond. And look, this isn't about trying to defy age. It's about defining how you age.
So let's just jump right in with a quick, practical challenge. Some people call it the old man test. I kind of think of it more like a fitness age test. You ready for this?
Okay, on the surface, this sounds super simple, right? All you're gonna do is stand on one leg and put on a sock. No, really, go ahead and try it if you can. You gotta bend down, keep your balance, get that sock on, and then straighten all the way back up. And the key is your other foot can't touch the ground, not even for a second. This thing is a real-world test of your balance, your strength, and your mobility. So, how'd it go?
Hey, if you struggled with that or even fell over, you are definitely not alone. I mean, look at this number. Just 14%? That's it. That's the tiny percentage of people over 40 who can actually nail that test. Which means a whopping 86% of folks find it either really hard or, well, impossible. It's kind of a wake-up call, isn't it? It shows how our bodies are changing, sometimes right under our noses. So why? Why does something that was probably a total non-issue for years suddenly become this big fitness challenge? Well, it all comes down to some very specific, totally natural changes our bodies go through after 40. Let's get into what's really happening.
Okay, so the biggest factor, the main culprit, is something called sarcopenia. It sounds complicated, but it's really just the fancy term for age-related muscle loss. And get this, it can start as early as our 30s. We can lose about 3 to 5% of our muscle mass every single decade. And why does that matter so much? Because muscle is literally your engine. It powers your metabolism, it supports your skeleton, everything. So less muscle, that means a slower metabolism and a lot less support for just, moving around every day.
And it's not just about the muscle. It's kind of a perfect storm of things happening all at once. Our metabolism naturally starts to slow down, our bone density can take a hit, hormones start shifting around, which affects our energy, where we store fat, you name it. Then you pile on the stress and anxiety of just modern life, plus a natural decrease in flexibility. It's no wonder we start to feel a little stiff or creaky. But hey, this is not a life sentence. Not at all. It's just the new lay of the land, and we need to know how to navigate.
Okay, so that brings us to the big question, right? What in the world do we do about all this? The answer is we fight back. But we do it with a smart, targeted plan. So let's build out a strategy. And we're going to base it on 3 essential pillars of fitness that are designed to go head-to-head with those changes we just talked about.
Pillar number 1, and honestly, this is the most important one, strength. This is your foundation for everything. To push back against that muscle loss and to keep your metabolism fired up, building and maintaining strength is simply non-negotiable. Think about it. Strong muscles are like armor for your joints. They support your posture, and they give you the raw power to just live your life fully.
And when we talk about foundational moves, the absolute king is the squat. I mean, just stop and think about it for a second. How many times a day do you sit down and stand back up? From a chair, from the couch, that's a squat. It is one of the most practical, functional exercises on the planet, and it translates directly to real-world strength and keeping your independence.
And the benefits are just huge. I mean, squats aren't just for your legs and glutes. They fire up your entire core to keep you stable. Because it's a weight-bearing exercise, it's actually proven to help increase your bone density, which is a huge deal. It directly improves the exact balance and coordination you need for, you guessed it, the sock test. And all that new muscle you're building, it revs up your metabolism, which helps with everything, including managing weight.
Okay, on to our second pillar, flexibility and mobility. Because let's be real, what good is being strong if you're so stiff you can't move? It's like having a powerful engine in a car with rusted-out steering. Mobility is what lets you move freely, without pain. It cuts your risk of injury and just keeps you feeling, well, fluid and young.
One of the biggest complaints from people over 40 is tight hips and nagging lower back pain. And there's often this secret little culprit hiding deep in your glutes. It's a small muscle called the piriformis. And man, when that thing gets tight, it can cause a whole cascade of problems. So this piriformis stretch, it's a super simple, laser-focused way to release that tension.
And the impact of this one stretch can be absolutely incredible. It gets in there and releases that deep hip muscle, which can take pressure right off the sciatic nerve.
So not only does this improve your hip mobility, making your squats and walking feel better, but it can also give you almost instant relief from that annoying lower back tension. For so many people, this stretch is a total game changer.
All right, pillar number 3. And this one addresses something that's every bit as important as our physical body, and that's our mind. Look, managing stress is a huge piece of the health puzzle after 40. Chronic stress can just wreak havoc on your hormones, your sleep, your everything. But the good news, the really good news, is that exercise is one of the most powerful stress busters on the planet. And no, you don't need some crazy, complicated routine. In fact, probably the most accessible, most effective, and most joint-friendly tool for reducing stress is just walking. It's free, you can do it pretty much anywhere, and the benefits are just profound.
When you go for a walk, you're not just taking a mental break. It's a real workout for your body. It gets those mood-boosting endorphins flowing. Those are your body's natural stress relievers. It gets your blood pumping, which is great for your heart health. And maybe best of all, unlike a lot of other activities, it's super gentle on your joints, which means it's something you can actually stick with for years and years.
Okay, so we've covered what to do, but it's just as important to know what not to do. As our bodies change, our workouts have to change too. It's all about working smarter, not necessarily harder. It's not about stopping exercises, it's about making smart swaps.
Yeah, some of those go-to exercises from our 20s can actually do more harm than good now. Take old-school crunches and sit-ups. They can put a ton of strain on your neck and spine. A much smarter swap? A plank, or the bird dog exercise. They strengthen your whole core without yanking on your neck. Same thing with high-impact jumps. They can be just brutal on your knees and hips. A better choice? Bodyweight strength training. Things like the squats we talked about, or lunges. You build real power without all that pounding on your joints.
So, let's start to bring this all home. I really want you to try and reframe how you think about exercise. It's not a punishment for what you ate. It's not a chore you have to get through. Think of it as a daily deposit, an investment in the person you want to be 10, 20, even 30 years down the road.
And here are the real keys to making sure that investment pays off big time. First, always warm up. As we get older, our muscles and joints just need a little more time to get ready for action. Second, be consistent. Seriously, a 20-minute walk every single day is so much better than a punishing 2-hour gym session once a week. And last, but maybe most important, listen to your body. It's smarter than you think. It'll tell you when to push and when it's time to rest. Pain is a signal to stop and figure things out, not to push through it.
And that really brings us to the main point of all this. It's a powerful idea. You have the power to define how you age. This isn't some battle against time you're destined to lose. No, it's a choice to build a body and a mind that will let you live with strength, with energy, with joy, through every single chapter of your life. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. After hearing all this, what is one small thing, one tiny actionable step you can take today for your future self? Maybe it's just a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's trying that piriformis stretch tonight. Or maybe it's just making that quiet decision to commit. Whatever it is, do it. Your future self is going to thank you for it.